Mixon out of the backfield. Has some daylight. Hurdles to the end zone. In for the score, and he took a lick from Miles Jack, but he hung on.
Who dey? Welcome to the show. It's your boy Ace Boogie. We're doing a call-in show. This is a spur of the moment kind of thing. We said that we were going to do it. We just beat the Squeelers, so we got to bring in the fans. So first, we're going to bring in my man, Nate J84. Nate, what's up, bro?
There we go. What's going on?
Feeling good, bro. How you feeling?
Great. Surprising. Yeah, let me go here where it's more quiet.
Quiet. You good, bro. So,
there's that flag.
yes, sir. You see what's going on? Hold on 1 second. You see, we got some other people in here as well. We got Aquila in here going as well. We're gonna add some other people in as well. What's up, Steven?
Yo, that was awesome. Big Ben is big mad, bro.
Big Ben is super mad. Nate, how do you think it feel? How do you feel about like Ben just getting murdered like that on national television against Ryan Finley?
I loved it. Ryan Finley's trash, bro. I can't believe that happened like that. Ryan Finley's trash.
I think it's official that the Squeelers are trash. What do you think, Nate? You think the Squeelers are trash?
They hella trash,
man.
bro. They hella trash.
Yeah, they definitely are super trash, bro, for sure.
I'm just scared that we won't be able to get Penei. I'm just scared that we won't get Penei.
Steven, where are you from, Steven?
Ohio?
You from Cincinnati?
No, I'm not from the Natty.
You're not from the Natty? That's cool though. You a Bengals? How long you been a Bengals fan for?
They're the first team. When I got into football around like 4th grade, I've been a Bengals fan ever since. So.
Was it like the stripes or what was it? What was it that made you like them? Was it a particular player or anything, or the uniforms, or what was it?
I just wanted to pick a team from Ohio, and my friends were like Bengals or Browns. I was like Bengals.
Definitely Bengals for sure. Well, I appreciate it, Steven. Before you head out, is there anything that you wanted to say to the people?
I hope Burrow's enjoying this at home. I really do.
Oh, I'm sure he is, man. I know he wanted to play there for sure, but he definitely has to be enjoying this for sure. But appreciate it, Steven. Thank you for stopping by, man. Who dey? Nate, man, how you feeling about this game, bro?
Great. It was great. I didn't expect it though. I thought we were gonna get blowed out.
I did too. Like if you saw me like tweeting and everything, I was just like, bro, this is gonna be a massacre. Ryan Finley, our line doesn't block for him. He's probably his orange jersey is gonna be green after the first quarter. Like that's what I was thinking. But the Bengals came out, the Steelers came out slow. And I think what was different about this game is usually like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Like usually it's like, all right, Ben's gonna get the ball back, he's gonna try to do a walk-off touchdown. But it was something different about this, bro. It was like we weren't having it.
They played hard. I mean, players didn't give up, right?
Nah, they didn't. I don't think they've ever given up, honestly, like even when it's been bad. I think the players have always played hard. The crazy thing is I talked to Carl Lawson a few days ago, like 3 or 4 days ago before this game. And I was like, man, we want you to stay in the Natty. Like, I've been hearing some things. We want you to stay. And he went crazy this game. It was like he was a man possessed in this game. He put his whole mark on this game, man. But yeah, man, it definitely was dope. Was there anything that you wanted to say before you get out of here?
Nah, I'm good. Who dey
for sure. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. All day, every day. Appreciate you, Nate. Yes, sir. All right, we're going to bring in my man, Chuck. What's up, Chuck? You on mute, bro. You on mute.
What's up, Ace?
What's up, man? Who dey?
That's crazy. That was crazy, man.
Bro, that was so crazy. Like, this whole day, I ain't even going to lie to y'all. Like, I've been dreading, like, this game because it's like we've been playing bad. We hate the Steelers. It's like, man, how much worse can this season go? I'm like, for us to have to play the Steelers on Monday Night Football and then win the division, I was like, bro, I don't know if I can do this. But someone just told me, I was like, I gotta watch this game just to see.
Man, I'm a Browns fan, and all day at work, I was talking with my boys, and we were like, man, I hope it's gonna happen. I feel like it can. And I said, man, if the Jets can pull one off, I think the Bengals might be able to sneak one out too.
The crazy thing is, like, you're a Browns fan. I do the AFC North side, right? Yeah. So I think we've all been watching, and we're like, man, the Steelers are kind of overrated. They're not like the best team in this division. And so for it to happen this way, I'd rather the Browns win this division than the Steelers. I think anybody in this division does not want the Steelers to win the division.
Oh, yeah.
Point blank period.
Oh, yeah.
We can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, I think we can, yeah.
So we just took care of our part. We need y'all to make sure that y'all take care of the rest. Do not let the Steelers win this division. Can you do that for me?
Sure. For sure, man. For sure.
Was there anything that you wanted to say before you get out of here, Chuck?
Hey, I'll throw you a hooday.
I appreciate it, brother. See, that's why Browns fans are cool, bro. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, when you take it easy tonight, y'all make sure that y'all bring home that division, bro, for sure.
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
All right, bro. Take it easy. All right. I think we got another Steven on the line. You there? Steven? Unmute. All right. I don't think he's there, so I'm gonna go to Aquila real quick. Aquila, what's up, bro?
Oh my God, I feel like $1 million, bro.
What, bro? It's just like all of the energy. It's just like I've been brought back to life. Like I know you had said you was like Ace, you don't got that much energy, and I get why you would say that, but it was like if you watch the beginning of that game, I had zero energy, bro. They were like, Ace doesn't even look like he wants to do this, and this game right here, we all needed it, bro. It's been a rough season. It's been a rough time. I mean, with us, just everything that's happened, it's just crazy that. And I think there was like a question one time that someone proposed, and it was like, if the Bengals didn't make the playoffs, or they won like 3 or 4 games, but they beat the Steelers, or they swept the Steelers, I think was the question. Would you take that? And I remember it being split. I remember it being like it wasn't like a foregone conclusion that we wouldn't have rather just taken those 2 games over that. But what were your thoughts like on this game? I think it was perfect because it's like all they're gonna be talking about on ESPN tomorrow. I feel like is how overrated the Squeelers are. Is Big Ben, is he done? It seemed like the Bengals might have put him in the coffin tonight. What do you think?
I think Big Ben's been on his way out for a while. I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers have enough talent around him where he looks better than what he actually is. But you saw it. Like if they take away the deep routes with Jesse Bates running all crazy, and they take away the short routes with Mackenzie Alexander, they're so one-dimensional. They couldn't run the ball. The Bengals haven't had a good run defense, but they couldn't run the ball besides draws and like fancy little outside zones because they're playing the middle because of the short routes. Right. But I'm happy. I'm really happy. Don't get me wrong, but I just hope the front office doesn't look at this as a redeeming quality for Zach Taylor. Like I think we all need to ground ourselves for a moment and say, look, Zach Taylor's our head coach for this season. That's the way it is. Let's hope he succeeds, but let's hope this front office has the balls to be like, look, bro, we can't do it with you anymore. But at the same time, I want the culture Zach Taylor's brought with this aggressive offseason. I hope that stays with the next coach if they get rid of him. And honestly, if Zach Taylor stays, I just hope this offseason is great for the future. Because I don't think he's going to do anything good next season. So I think it's going to be another at least 1 win, but I don't think it's going to be more than 5. But if he stays this offseason, it better be a good offseason to set up the next coach for the future.
No, that's facts. I think like you said, the worst part is this could open the door back for Zach to return. But I think for now, I'm just going to live in the moment. But I think, like you said, I hope that they do have the balls to still be like, Zach, you're going or you're out of here. But the fact that this guy did beat the Steelers on Monday Night Football, like, that's probably going to go a long way. I'm not even going to lie. Like, that's going to go a long way with Mike Brown and them. I don't know how far it goes with the fans, but I think in order for you to get fans on your side, you have to beat the Squeelers. So, it's tough, bro. It's really tough because
– at least we beat them. Like, it's better than taking L's, but I mean, you got to think long term.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you can pop the champagne for tonight, maybe tomorrow, even though the national media is not going to cover this as much as they should.
They won't. It'll be all about like the Steelers messing up. It won't be anything about us doing anything.
No, but like Lou Anarumo, look, he's not the best defensive coordinator in the world, but he's definitely not the worst. I've seen the worst from the Bengals.
Terrell Austin.
I've seen worse. And honestly, if Zach Taylor's gone next season, like if they cut Zach Taylor and Lou becomes the interim head coach, I think there isn't. I think there's worse options on the table.
Right. Facts.
Like I don't even know who the offensive coordinator for the Bengals is. So.
Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be Bill Callahan or Brian Callahan. But Zach calls the plays. So I don't even, like you said, I don't know who they would bring in instead to work that. But this was a huge win for the Bengals. Was there anything that you wanted to say before you get out of here, brother?
Man, just Houday. I was my heart because it's Big Ben. And I've seen it a million times that you give him the second half, you give him the fourth quarter, he's gonna make plays against the Bengals. Facts. No one else. Big Ben will look like a bum for the entire season, but when it comes to the Bengals, he'll win. But it's just different energy. Like the players are playing like they should have been in 2015. Right. If they play like that in 2015, where besides the Mackenzie Alexander getting a bit too amped up, if they played like that, we would have won.
Right.
But man, just Houday every day. But let's keep ourselves grounded, especially with that front office. That Zach Taylor needs to go one way or another.
Nah, I'm with you. Zach definitely needs to go. Appreciate that, bro. Houday. All right, we got to bring in Steelers Suck. I'm trying to bring him in. It says that his device isn't connected. So Steelers Suck, if you're hearing me, I'm trying to add you in. We definitely got to add you. But it looks like there's some devices that are not connected. So I'm going to try to bring you in. But for now, I'm going to bring in my guy, Justin Taylor. Justin, what's up, bro?
What's up?
What's up? How you feeling, bro?
Honestly, first couple minutes of this game,
mm-hmm.
I was so slumped out. I was not down to watch this game.
Mm-hmm.
But then once we started getting points on the board, I was really excited and turned out good.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Like it was, like you said, coming into the game, I think we were all down, and then we were looking, and it's like turnover. Then Mackenzie Alexander gets the pick, and it's like, bro, it's like we're back. Like I think a lot of us were like, man, this is gonna be a massacre, this and that. But to get this win, for them to play the way that they did, it was just amazing, bro. Like this is the first time I think that I've ever seen us bully the Steelers, and that the Steelers look soft. Like they look soft, bro. Like that hit from Vonn Bell when he hit Juju. Oh, that set the tone, bro. That set the tone for sure.
I think he's like the biggest meme on the internet right now. Like from that TikTok and from getting hit, for sure.
Oh yeah, bro. You're not gonna TikTok on the Bengals logo. Like, nah, that's just not gonna happen. I think he was feeling like, oh, like, you know, we're just playing the Bengals. We should win this game. So he just did the TikTok anyway, and he got his TikTok Rick rocked. Like he got rocked by Vonn Bell for sure.
Yeah, they came in this game too confident, I think, expecting a easy win.
Definitely, yeah. This win wasn't gonna be easy for them. Like, even though we've only won 2 games, we're not a team that's just trash, super trash, or whatever. Like, we still have talent. We still have guys that can play. It's still Bengals versus Steelers. So whether they feel like it's a rivalry or not, this is always one that we kind of get riled up to kind of play. So before you get out of here, Justin, was there anything that you wanted to say, bro?
Yeah, I have a question for you, actually. Do you think if Joe Burrow were to play up to this day, do you think T. Higgins would have more receiving yards than Justin Jefferson?
If Joe Burrow was playing, would T. Higgins have more receiving yards than Justin Jefferson? That's a great question because Justin Jefferson has been getting off. And, like, I know a lot of us wanted him from the get-go since we took Burrow, right? But then he was taken in the first round, so that made it so that we couldn't take him. So let me see. I'm just going to pull up his stats real quick. So he's got 1,100 passing yards already, or receiving yards already.
Yeah.
T. Higgins.
I think he has 900, T. Higgins.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think T. Higgins would have more, bro. I think T. Higgins would have more, they would have the same. So he's got like 778. Yeah, I think if Burrow is playing, bro, definitely, because I mean Burrow is way better than Brandon Wilson. T. Higgins has been like on fire. They had a great connection. So yeah, I would say that they would at least have the same, or he would have more potentially. Because I remember at first I was saying like T. Higgins is about to have 1,000 yards this season, and that was when Joe Burrow was still here. So yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I think we would have had possibly a couple 100-yard games in some of those games for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have just one more question for you. Are we like worried for the Houston, like for us winning versus Houston? So
Us
I feel
winning.
like we could come on top on versus Houston
We
here.
could. Give me 1 second, bro. I just gotta plug in my laptop real quick before it dies on you. That's a great question. 1 second.
All right.
All right, you asked a great question, bro. You said, are you worried that we will win the Houston game?
Yeah.
I think that that's a definite issue for us is if we do win that game because now we are at I think 3 wins. We're still in third, but the difference between us and possibly fifth or sixth and fourth is 1 game. So yes, that would be problematic if we had to go in against Houston and win that game. That would be tough. I wouldn't want to win that game because I think that definitely seals not only the possibility that you could drop from number 3 to potentially number 6, but it seals the deal. It's all but like a sure thing that Zach Taylor would be back. I think for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Just the last question. If we were to win versus Houston and we'd have like the 6th or 7th pick or something, who would you take? Chase, Smith, or Pitts?
Pitts, bro. I'm gonna go Pitts. I know a lot of people want Chase. I wouldn't be mad if we took Chase, but I want Pitts just because that tight end position, bro. Like we're so weak there. It's a position that I think if he's a solid blocker and a crazy route runner, it's just like, would you rather have Travis Kelce or would you rather have? I don't know what you could compare Pitts to, but let's just say Pitts is Keenan Allen or something like that. Like he's not Keenan Allen, but he's definitely probably better. So I'm not gonna say Keenan Allen. Let's not try him like that. Let's say DeAndre Hopkins or something, right? Like I feel like you can't go wrong with either pick, but I just think that the tight end adds a different dynamic because you're gonna have linebackers and safeties and stuff on Pitts that can't guard him. Versus if we go against the Ravens and you have someone like Jamar Chase there, you've got 3 good corners on the Ravens, right? Like they'll be able to guard him. They'll have Marlon Humphrey. They'll have Marcus Peters. They'll have Jimmy Smith and some other guys. Like, but if you have a tight end, they can't really guard that. Like the Ravens linebackers are weak. Even though they went in and took Patrick Queen and stuff like that, they're weak against certain players in terms of that. Even with the Steelers right now, they got issues at the linebacker position without them having Devin Bush. So I feel like Pitts would create more mismatches for our division in that area. But if you were to play the Browns, then yeah, I think your boy Chase is getting off because the Browns really only have Denzel Ward and then they don't have anyone else after that. But the only thing that I think about when it comes to that is I think if we take Chase that we're going to have, and I'm not speaking for you, but I think most people would think the Bengals are going to have 3 1,000-yard receivers. And I don't think that that's going to be the case because that hasn't happened in the league since 2008. Like even with like the Cowboys and stuff now, right? I don't know if they're going to break that record or if they're approaching it. They got Gallup, they got Amari Cooper, and they got CeeDee Lamb, right? But I don't think all 3 of them have 1,000 yards. And so if that is the case, I don't think you can go wrong. Either one, whether you take Chase or Pitts, I don't think that you go wrong either way. But I just think that Pitts, given what we have at the tight end position, you had Drew Sample out here tonight who still hasn't caught a touchdown in the season. It's going on week 16. He still hasn't caught a touchdown. You don't really have anything there. CJ Uzomah, I like him, but he did just have an Achilles injury, and he's never been a guy that's been like scary for this division. And so I would like to have somebody that could take over this offense like Tyler Eifert. Like when we had him and he had 15 or 16 touchdowns, I think that Pitts could be that guy. But I wouldn't be mad at either way that they would go with it because I could see if they got into that position, I could see Burrow being like, yo, go and get my old teammate. So I wouldn't be mad at it either way. And I think that it would be weird if we took Pitts instead of Chase, and they were both available. And then like all the time or all later on in the back of Burrow's mind, it's always going to be, we could have had my guy Chase. So it just depends. It depends on what Joe Burrow wants. If Joe Burrow wants Chase, you get him what he wants. If he says Pitts, you give him that too. Or if you don't want him involved in the pick at all, then you just make the decision. But I think either way, you're going to get a great player.
For sure. All right, that's just pretty much it. I'm gonna leave you be.
All right, appreciate it, Justin. Was there anything you wanted to say before you get out?
Who dey?
All right. So wanted to give a shout out. We've got a super chat here. I gotta kick some of the guests out to try to get some other ones in. So I'm gonna have to kick you guys from the studio. I think that there's somewhat of a limit of people that we can have on here. But if you are listening to this, you can join in and jump on and check us out. I think, the actual link out in the Discord, but I'm going to send another link out here soon. Let me see. Let me try to resend this invite link out. I'm actually going to, I don't know if people aren't on Discord or not, so I'm going to actually put it out there on Twitter. So if you're watching on Periscope or something like that, I'm about to tweet this actual link right now. Now, this is the link for you to come on and be able to voice your opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. We've already spoken to a couple of fans. I'm going to try to bring some other people on. We got this Steelers suck dude. I'm trying to bring him on, but he won't. It won't let him join. So check that out. I'm also going to paste it here in the live chat, so you guys can come on and talk. We're talking about the Bengals getting this huge win over the Steelers. It is crazy. I got to go through some of these comments right now. Pitt is in the 3rd seed now. We got Jay Wash on here. What's up, bro? What's good? Chilling, bro.
I don't know. I can't stop smiling. Like, this is really, like, I've been through that heartache and pain. Like, it's really crazy that this is going really about to happen,
bro. Like, it's been like, I think almost like 5 years, bro, since we beat this team. Like,
way too long. Like,
it's like Vontaze Burfict was still on the team, bro.
Oh my goodness. Like it's really like I was yelling throughout the house so many times. Like I really just like went nuts. Especially was like I was, cause I called one of my friends halftime and I told him I'm not gonna do anything until like if we just do it, because I know this team too well. Because you know we know what happens.
We know, bro. We know we have like the worst luck ever. So it's like I caught myself and I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna feel like, because a lot of people was like, oh, you jinxing this and this. I'm like, bro. We gotta turn a new leaf. We gotta believe in this team ourselves. And if we put out that energy that, oh, they're gonna come back and beat us, or we shouldn't feel confident, then they're gonna come back and beat us.
I know.
But I felt like the difference between this and the past, and I'll add some of these other fans in. I think the difference between this and the past is that typically in the past we've been like we've kind of been bullied in a sense. Like they usually are beating us up.
Like especially with the Vonn Bell hit, like that really set the tone.
Bro, the Vonn Bell hit was the changing point in this game.
Yeah. It reminded me of it was in the SEC championship when I think it was John Mechie when he lit up the one DB from Florida. I don't think you saw that one, but it was really big. It was a big hit, and it kind of like,
bro,
because it was on a turnover too, and he hit it, and the ball just popped up, and it kind of like changed the momentum too.
Bro, it definitely changed the momentum for sure. It was like it like everything that went into that, and I keep saying this over and over again, but like when you're reading throughout the week, you see these Bengals articles that come out on Twitter. And it was somebody that interviewed Vonn Bell, and they asked him about Juju dancing. They were like, what do you think about the TikToks and all of that? And he was like, they're winning and all of that. That's cool. But, if we want him to stop dancing, we're going to have to do something about it. So it's like for it to be at the 50-yard line, for that hit to like occur in the game at the 50-yard line.
That's crazy.
It was crazy, bro.
It really was.
Ace, I got a question for you.
But hold on 1 second, Dallas. Jay Wash, before you get out of here, was there anything you wanted to say before you get off, bro?
Nah, just a who that, just happy to be a Bengals fan, and I'm really about to just say the most ignorant stuff just because I'm just
hey, you got to, bro. You got to do it. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Who that?
This is the one chance, yeah.
Facts. Got to take advantage of it. Facts. Hey, what's up, Dallas? You still there, bro? No, don't tell me you froze out. You still there?
What's up, brother? First of all, I've been a fan of your show for a minute.
Hey, appreciate the support,
But
bro.
all I got is, yeah, of course, brother. So my question is, if they do get rid of Zach Taylor, like, do you think they'll keep the rest of the coaching staff, or do you think they'll scrap them all and get a guy like Eric Bieniemy or something like that?
So I have heard,
Like, if they do scrap
talking
them,
if they do scrap them, so I don't know how. I can't say verbatim like exactly how this is gonna happen, but I've been hearing that it could be a situation where they do keep Lou. I'm not for certain, but I've been hearing that it's possible that they do keep Lou as a defensive coordinator, even if they move on from Zach Taylor.
I do like Lou.
I like Lou too.
I like Lou.
I think we've seen the worst with Terrell Austin. I think even like a lot of people are talking about bringing back Paul Gunther, but I think them last couple of years with Paul Gunther, I wasn't really too high on him like that for real.
You know, I've been watching the games these last couple of weeks, and I like to analyze the games and the films. And the last couple of things I've been seeing was the O-line has been slowly getting better. But the thing with Zach Taylor is that we'll watch week 1, they'll play good. Then week 2, it'll be a huge regression. So all of the fans and all the, everyone else is like, well, okay, what's going on? Like we're seeing progress, and then we're seeing a huge regression. But we also have to realize like Joe Burrow's out. Our line is not playing great. Some of our coaches aren't that great, So we also have to take into account of some of those things. That Zach Taylor, he's not the best coach in the world, but at the same time, I got to give him credit because of the things that he's doing and because of the ways that he's doing that. I don't think that, it's like a guy like Mitchell Trubisky.
Right.
You can play him for the rest of the season, but he's not a guy you want to keep. Like, he's doing okay right now. He can finish the rest of the season, but it's not a guy you want to continue on with to build your franchise. But you also got to keep in mind, if you get rid of Zach Taylor, you're risking starting completely over. Like, you're going to put everybody else in the sense of you're going to have some more 3-win seasons, you're going to have some more 2-win seasons. And can other people handle that? Can the Bengals fans handle that?
Facts. Nah, that's real. I mean, I think if you do move away from Zach, you do put yourself at a risk for that, right? But it just depends on who they bring in. Like, if you were to go from Zach Taylor to, let's just say, I don't know, Eric Bieniemy, I think that you win more games. I think that you could win more games, but you do risk that. Like you said, if you're switching coaches and switching systems and stuff like that and getting guys that don't fit in the scheme, yeah, I think you're right. There's definitely that risk that's there. But it's just tough, man, because this is a situation where it's like we finally beat the Steelers in 5 years on Monday Night Football.
Man,
how much of that?
It was a good feeling,
bro. It was a great feeling. Like,
it was a good feeling because I made a bet with my friend. Man, he's like, nah, no way. I was like, I didn't even make the bet that we was gonna win. I said I made the bet that we was gonna lose by less than 7 points. I was like, we might not win, but I know we're gonna lose by less than 7 points, and we end up winning by more than 7 points. You feel me?
Wow, Willie Anderson literally just texted me right now. Does that hurt our draft position? I'm not Willie. If you're watching this right now, no, it did not hurt our draft position.
I don't think it depends, because when you really take a look at the Bengals team, we have probably the second or third best receiving core in the NFL, like hands down. Like, if they were to start John Ross, if they're gonna trade him, they should have just started him, get some what you call him, some film on him or whatever, and then get ready to trade him. Is what they're doing with AJ Green. Get some film on him, then trade him and get a couple picks for him. But that's not what they're gonna do. But if you so-called start John Ross, he's faster than Tyreek Hill. So if you got him, you got AJ Green, you got CJ Uzomah when he's healthy, you got Drew Sample, you got all of these guys. Now all you need. You don't need it. You don't need any more receivers.
Right.
You don't. You truly don't. All you need is to build around Joe Burrow. You need to get some play calls, because if you watch from the beginning of the season, week 1, he's changed his play calls drastically. Because when he started the season, week 1 of 2019, he was running a West Coast offense. Right. Throughout this season, he started running a spread offense, like what the Steelers usually run, because we couldn't run the ball.
Right.
So, I mean, how do you think he's going to – I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think – what kind of offense do you think Zach Taylor is most comfortable with Joe Burrow? What kind of offense do you think he likes to run with Joe Burrow?
I think it's the spread. I think it's the spread, and I think that's the offense that Joe Burrow is most comfortable running because we saw that at LSU, and I think when we drafted Burrow, I think they had said, or Burrow had said, him and Zach sat down and he added 10 plays out of that offense, right? And I think that's where we saw he was most comfortable. Like we've always exclusively this season, for the most part, run out of the shotgun. Like it's literally almost like every play. And so I think with Joe, that's what he's most comfortable doing. And I'm not mad that Zach was willing to say, hey, let me change my offense to complement our rookie quarterback and what he's comfortable with, because some guys just kind of force their own system off on players. And we're seeing it now in the NFL with Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, right? Like that system does not fit Tom Brady, but they're still trying to force it to happen.
They're forcing it.
And you can't do that. You gotta build it around your players. And we saw it with the Baltimore Ravens. What was that, 2 years ago with Lamar Jackson? They were just like, all right, we're gonna scrap what we have,
make something work
with Flacco, and we're gonna make this work with Lamar Jackson. And you have to do that. You have to be willing to compromise.
And I think one of the things that the Bengals took a huge hit with this year is their quarterback situation. Like you can't have two random quarterbacks. Like you can't have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson and then have a backup like Joe Flacco. Like that's going to be a huge difference in your team. So when you have a guy like Joe Burrow, I think if they draft a quarterback this year, you're going to want a guy like Sam Ehlinger from Texas. Like you're going to want a guy who can run that spread offense, who can get down the field. Like you're going to want to, because I think, in my opinion, that they should draft a backup quarterback. Right. Yeah, not to obviously start him, but like a Jake Fromm kind of guy. But I think the guy that, if they do get a quarterback, it should be Sam Ehlinger, because he should be on the board by that time, because everyone's thinking about taking Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence and all of these guys.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think we need any receivers. Truly, I think we can get some profitable O-linemen from free agency. So I don't even think we really need to spend big money on that if we're going to be logistical. We're still missing two guys that you remember that were injured on defense that we got from Minnesota.
Right.
So like we're really technically good. We just need a couple tweaks here and there, but other than that, we're a pretty good team, and I can't wait to see what we can do next year.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Trey Wayne still hasn't played, and we saw that Darius Phillips was more than capable tonight. After giving up a big play, he makes the big play later on in the game when it really matters. Like on that, I think it was that third down or that fourth down or something like that. He goes out there and makes that play. So I think you hit on a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna definitely have to have you back on throughout the season, because I love the analysis that you gave, bro. I love the insight that you gave, and we'll be talking for sure sooner rather than later, especially when it comes to the draft. So Dallas, was there anything that you wanted to say before you get out of here, bro?
I don't. Who day?
Hey, who day?
Every day, especially on Sunday, homie. Thank you.
Hey, my guy. Appreciate you, my guy. So that was my man Dallas. Dallas just showed out real quick. Hey, Dallas know what he's talking about on the low for sure. We got a super chat here from my man WWG1 WGA, $5. Least expected win in franchise history. I think so, bro. I did not see this coming at all. But this guy, I gotta bring in this dude right here, bro. Bro,
what it do, baby?
Right now. Hey, what up, bro?
What it do? What's up, man? How you doing today, Ace? I know you feeling good.
I'm feeling
I'm feeling good too, man. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Who Day, all day, every day? What up, Who Day Nation, man? I'm happy to be on here, man. I was enjoying hearing Dallas talk. I agree with a lot of what he said. When he started talking about drafting a rookie backup quarterback, I think we done with that, man. You need somebody who can come in just in case something happen and carry on the season. We've seen what the rookie quarterback gets us when we had it with AJ McCarron and all that inexperienced quarterbacks. I mean, he came in and he almost got the job done, but we need somebody who can. I was actually a big proponent of going after Joe Flacco to back up Burrow this year, because he got the experience in the AFC North. You know what I mean? And he can teach you something. You know what I'm saying? He won a championship, everything, man. That's who you bring in here. You know what I mean? You bring in somebody who can actually elevate Joe Burrow. Everything that you're doing right now is centered around Joe Burrow. So when you bring in a backup quarterback, ain't nobody who need to learn from him. It's somebody who need to elevate. You know what I mean? So that's what we need there. Man, I'm blown away by the win, man. I just can't even. I was sitting here, I'm like dreading to cut this even on, and I'm like,
bro, it was the same thing, bro. It was like, man, it's like So we go all the way back to the Joe Burrow thing, and it's like, man, how can this get worse? It's like my soul was ripped out of my body, and then it was like, all right, I'm gonna take your soul and I'm gonna throw it on the ground, and I'm gonna take a Jonah Williams knee injury the next game, and I'm gonna step on it some more. And then it's like, all right, now I'm gonna take that off.
Yeah,
throw you in the toilet, and I'm gonna let
it didn't seem like it had no floor, bro.
Go
it
in
had no
on
floor. There was an endless abyss. I'm like, what is this happening? And then it was like, I'm like, man, I don't know. See, what's frustrating me about Zach, and it's funny because your other homies off the other podcast, Matt Minich, Coach Matt, and John Sheeran, they were talking about it a little bit earlier. They was like, what frustrates fans about Zach Taylor? Obviously, losing is frustrating, period. But it's that when you lose and you seem to be that positive attitude, even if it isn't like you being okay with it, the fact that you just sit here and you keep, we're so close, we're this close, we're that close, bro. After being so close so many times, you know, like that ain't gonna cut it, Chief, man. You know, like you gotta push something like, and then when people want to talk about the real side, you don't want to give it to us real. You want to talk to us about accountability, but when we talk about points where people need to be held accountable, you want to you know what I mean? And I get it. There's a line you got to dance as a coach, discipline people in public and all that stuff. You don't want to get too far into that, but at a certain point, you got to be a little bit real with us. And we seen him do it a little bit. That, you know, the past game, he was almost there. But this right here, man, this is this is a win right there, and it's gonna keep him in there. I just hope, man. I really hope that they start doing more of what Dallas was talking about, man. Like they start getting better when they adjust to the talent they have, man. The number one rule of war, the key to victory in war, is deception. You know what I mean? So how many times you got to give I've seen him run that read action so many times this year where they just always let the running back carry. And I'm like, yo, the quarterback's free for like 10, 15 yards, but that quarterback just so happened to be Joe Burrow. I guess when it's Ryan Finley, you ain't really worried about him getting messed up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. My bad, dog. So I saw somebody in the comments say, bro, go look at Penei Sewell's story on Instagram. I just looked at it. Bro, he's watching the Bengals game. On his IG. He's watching the Bengals game on his IG.
Trying to see what he's about to be working with next year, kind of sort of.
So some fans in the stadium, it looks like they had some kind of penny sign in there.
Yeah, penny for your thought.
He responded to it. He said, "Who they?" Hashtag who they with the eyes.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get that boy. Let's get that boy. Get him here. He ready to go, man. He want to be here. He want to be here. And that's what we need. We need people who want to be here. You know what I mean? That is something important that Zach do say. That's true. You need people who want to be here because it ain't easy being a fan here. You don't have the greatest renowned history. You know, you ain't got the biggest base, but that comes with winning. You know what I mean? Who were the Patriots before this little run they went on? You feel me? Who was it?
So
you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, man. They got to get it in there, man. But hey, I'm gonna let you get back to it. I don't want to be too much of a time hog. Again, Who They all day, every day, the Who They Nation, man. I love to be back on sometime. I love what you guys are doing. You and Zim. Zim is my guy. I'm not on Instagram, so I don't barely be see him like that. But Zim, hey, that's my dude too. But all love, man. I appreciate you having me on. Thanks for giving me the time. I'm out.
Who They? Appreciate
Who They.
it. All right, we're gonna bring in someone else. What's up, The Natural?
Hey, Ace, man. Been watching you since 2016, man.
Appreciate it, man. Day one. What's up, man?
Man, that victory was something, man. But let me ask you a question. Do you think this was the Steelers playing down to us and us finally catching them on the losing side? Or is this a thing where they just got out coached? Maybe Zach Taylor stepped his game up.
So if you're not aware, I got another channel that I'm on, the AFC North Talk. So it's me, it's Quincy Carrier from the Browns, it's Tony Serino from the Locked On Steelers, it's SCG Sports, that's a Ravens YouTuber. We had to watch every single game in the division this year. This is the first time I've ever done that. Like, I might catch some games here and there, like usually like when we need to beat the Steelers to get ahead of them in the AFC North, or I need to monitor the Browns to see if we're going to move up and stuff like that. But this is literally the first year that I watched every game. That is the Steelers. That has been the Steelers this year. They are wildly inconsistent. They come out and they have been in a lot of games, honestly, that they shouldn't have won against bad teams. It just so happens that those teams kind of stall out, and they've allowed the Steelers to come back at the end of the games. But they've played wildly inconsistent this whole season. So I don't think that it's a shock that the Bengals came out and caught them slipping and won this game, because they have played wildly inconsistent this season. But I don't think it says that, the Bengals just got lucky. I think that it's just that the Steelers are what they are. They are an overrated team, and any team can take them out. Like, this is a Steelers team that'll probably go into the playoffs and get trounced in like the first round. Like, they're not as great of a team as they look like on paper when you just simply look at their record.
All right. So if you Mike Brown, do you put much stock into this win though?
It's tough to say, right? Because I think like Mike Brown, if I'm thinking like how Mike Brown has thought in the past, I think Mike Brown thinks that this was a huge win, because I think nobody gave the Bengals a chance. I don't think anyone did. And the fact that Zach Taylor, I think in this game, got into this game and got a lead and was able to keep the lead and showed that he was able to understand situational football. And the fact that it's on Monday Night Football, I think that goes a long way with Mike Brown. Now, me personally, nah, bro, I'm still moving on from him after this season. But for Mike Brown, I think that does say a lot. I think for the fan base, it did a lot, because the one thing that you have to get this fan base on your side is beating the Squeelers. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, we were willing to risk it all just for the Steelers to take that L. So I think that it does buy him some time from Mike Brown's standpoint. For me personally, though, I would still move on just because of certain things that I've heard. But it's going to be a tough decision for Mike Brown for sure. And the last thing that I heard from a close source that knows about the situation, it went from Zach is coming back to it. We don't know. It's up in the air. Now it probably shifts to it's possible that it could be back to him coming back after this game.
Man, that's the last thing I want to hear. I like Zach Taylor up there.
Hey, if I hear any updates, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Hopefully I hope that's not the case, but hey, we'll just have to see where it goes from here, man. We just got to enjoy this moment for right now and just hope that they still make a move in this offseason that moves us into that situation. Because I think for me, the biggest part about watching the division for me this year, it really just cleared everything out of me and gave me like a realistic view of us compared to the rest of the division. And I talk about not only the players, but the coaches. Like, you got to be able to out-coach somebody like a Tomlin, which Zach was able to do tonight. I had to give him credit on that. But you got to be able to out-coach a Stefanski, who's up and coming. Like, I thought he was overrated. Like, I remember the first episode of AFC North Talk, I was like, oh, the Browns made the same mistake again. They went and got Freddie Kitchens 2.0. I was wrong. I had to own that. Kevin Stefanski is a decent coach. He's not bad. And then you look at the Ravens, right? They got Jim Harbaugh. So you have to have somebody that's on that level to coach against those guys when you're in these situations when you got to win. And at first, Zach wasn't giving me those vibes, but I think Zach has bought some kind of opportunity with this. I think he has. But to me personally, I think if you're thinking about the long-term vision of this team, you still have to say, I don't think Zach Taylor is the right guy for this team right now, especially after having the worst start in NFL history of any head coach. You have to remember that. And then you have to also remember that a lot of those wins probably are because of Joe Burrow, and a lot of those losses are because of that situational football and those mistakes that he made. Because this team probably sitting at like 7 wins right now if Zach makes the right decisions in some of those earlier games, even with them losing Joe Burrow. Because you think about the Chargers game, you think about the Colts game, you think about one of those Browns games, at least definitely the one where they call it cover 0. Like, those are like 3 wins right there that you could just say, like, this team is probably, in the hunt right now. Well, probably not in the hunt because, a lot of the teams in the AFC North and just the AFC in general, like the Dolphins and all of that are in the hunt for the playoffs. They all have like 9 or 10 wins. So we probably wouldn't be in the hunt, but still it would look better on paper. Like, if the Bengals went 6-10 this season, I don't think that people would view that as a failure since we only won 2 games last season. But to only win 3 this year, I think still is somewhat of a hard sell for this fan base going forward to say, all right, we cool with bringing Zach Taylor back.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ace. I'll let you go, man. My internet's cutting out. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, appreciate it, the natural. So we just had the natural on. We got one more person to put up on here. I'm gonna get to the super chat real quick first. My man Alvin Cowsby, appreciate you, bro. Houday, he has $5 for us. He said they finally beat him. Houday, for sure, bro. Like, man, I think that's how everybody feels. I'm gonna be wearing Houday stuff all day tomorrow. I've been still wearing it, even though we've been losing, but I'm gonna feel way better tomorrow wearing all of my Houday stuff. I might wear it all week, bro. It was the Steelers, like Steelers week, bro. That's a huge W. All right, so we got my man Last to Lose on. You're on mute, my guy, but welcome to the show. Houday, what's up, bro?
Hey, man. Ace, how's it going, man?
Man, chilling, bro. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I know you feeling good. You feeling good too?
Come on, man. I'll be all on your Twitter with you and Ace. I'll be going back and forth. I honestly say, man, look, I know hate is a strong word, so I'm not going to say it, but I have a strong dislike for the Steelers. And today felt so good. It felt good screaming in the basement, 11 o'clock at night, waking everybody up in the house because we getting that dub. So it felt good. So I'm gonna be real quick. I just got one question for you. Well, maybe not a question, but I do agree that it's say for instance, if we win the next game and we fall into that sixth place in the draft, I strongly agree with you on the fact that I think we should take Pitts over Chase just because we need that dog at a tight end in our conference, and I think it keeps the safeties and the linebackers honest. And then it just creates more space on the outside for our receivers because now they're getting different kind of matchups. But I do understand the whole logic behind if Chase is available, you kind of do got to take him because that is Joe Burrow's boy. But I think Pitts will be the more suitable pick for us because I think like Slater will be available in the second round, like the offensive lineman from Northwestern. And there's a couple good offensive linemen that we could get in the second round, but I think you got to take Pitts, man.
Nah, I'm with you on Pitts, bro, because like you said, like when we started this season and I was over on the AFC North side, we went through every single position. It was like, damn, bro, like y'all not giving the Bengals any credit on like even receivers, bro. They said that the Browns had better receivers than them.
Right. I remember seeing stuff like that.
But when they looked at it, I kind of understood it. But I warned them too. I was like, y'all not taking into account injuries because I was like, the Bengals last year, we all know about those injuries at the wide receiver.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, you can have Auden Tate out there as your number one receiver after 2 or 3 injuries. And I was telling them, I was like, with the Browns, if OBJ get hurt or something like that, you know, I don't know who y'all other receivers are. But their whole point was like, that really made me open my eyes to like where we stand within the division. It's like, all right, if y'all don't feel like we had the number one receiving core, what does everybody else feel? And it was like similar things. I think they did give us credit for the D-line, which is crazy. And I think most of that actually was attributed to DJ Reader and stuff like that. But outside of that, that was like it. It was like we had the worst tight end, we had the worst line. They said we had the worst linebackers. I was like, nah, the Ravens had the worst linebackers. They said we had the worst linebackers. I think our secondary was like third when we ranked them all up. And it just made me realize, like, man, we got to get something where we got the number one. I think the Browns, they gave the Browns number one with running back, which I had to at first
I agree with you on, yeah.
I was like, make it better. They do got Chubb is good, bro. I had to give it to Chubb. I wouldn't be mad if people said Chubb was better than Mixon because Chubb got the numbers. He's doing his thing, and they got Kareem Hunt. So that was
stay healthy.
And he stayed healthy, exactly. Yep. So I couldn't be mad at that. I couldn't be mad at that at all. But I think bringing it back to Pitts, if we get Pitts, you only got to be better than Mark Andrews, right? Which Mark Andrews is that guy that does things Mark Andrews can't do. He can't do those things. And so we could easily have the best tight end in this division if we take Pitts in the next 2 or 3 years, he could be the next guy. And you're seeing the tight end position evolve into something where he is potentially going to be a receiver. We were just talking about Travis Kelce earlier. When they kicked off that game in Kansas City, he was leading the league in receiving. A tight end. A tight end. As a tight end.
And I think it helps good too because like the way our spread offense runs, You know, if it'd be nice to have a tight end where Joe Burrow can do like nice check downs to, where it's spreading the offense out more. Because now, you know, say we go up against a team like Pittsburgh, and you got Pitts doing like delayed passes. He blocking Watt and then leaking out after everybody else done down the field and got covered. And now you got like a potential number one type of wide receiver at tight end, catching the ball out in the open, about to make plays. And he's a playmaker, man.
Right. No, facts. He's definitely a playmaker. I've seen someone, I had a Ravens fan here saying, what can Mark Andrews do? Mark Andrews, don't get it twisted. Mark Andrews is top 3, top 5 tight end in the NFL. But there's certain things that certain people have skill sets for. It's just like if you were to compare Mark Andrews to Evan Ingram, they're not even similar at all. Like Evan Ingram can do things that Mark Andrews can't do. And Mark Andrews can do things that Evan Ingram can't do. It's just you kind of picking your poison. Like I think for us, Pitts would be somewhat similar, and I haven't watched his full draft tape, but from what I've seen, it's kind of like those dynamic Tyler Eifert kind of vibes, but he's just a dynamic guy. And he can go out there and make the plays, and I would just love for Joe Burrow to have that. The other thing, too, is when you have that tight end and they send the blitz, that's your first read. The first read tight end. You can't have our first read be Drew Sample when and you know Miles Garrett is coming off the air, Yannick is coming off the air. Nah, nobody's scared of Drew Sample. Come on, and Drew, if you watching this, is no offense to you, bro. I'm just saying, like, we need Drew Sample to probably be our second tight end, and we need another tight end that's going to be the guy to take the passes and stuff like that.
I got one more thing for you. Although it kind of looked kind of sloppy at some points today, it really was effective. Do you think that the way we ran the ball today is an indication that the coaching staff may think that, okay, well, maybe we should have been running the ball a lot more than what we have been? Because like I think it was I don't know if it was a YouTube video live or it was something that you said on a tweet, but I think it was like it was a discussion of you got to play like you got to compete with the people in your division first before you try to beat everybody else. And in our division, I mean, other than the Steelers, you got the Ravens, they run heavy, and you got the Browns that's run heavy. And clearly it shows that it's a lot more effective than what the Steelers been doing. And I think today the coaching staff definitely got to take some kind of mental note, like, hey, these running backs, you got a threat with. I mean, I love Mixon, but when you got Bernard in the backfield, they don't know if we're gonna pass or run. You know, so I think having that dynamic and just trying to run the ball more, make this offense like the line was pushing today. The line was pushing, and it felt good to see them boys pushing. And even though we don't got everybody back on the line, it feels good to see them boys pushing. I kind of wish it was Mixon back there though, because he probably could have had like 100 something today.
Oh, easily. I think the one thing that you said, like you hit on a couple of things. Definitely, you have to be able to beat your division to compete with the NFL. And I think I was so glad that they said it on ESPN tonight because I've been watching this. Like I said, I've had to watch every game in this division. I wanted to burn my eyes out watching them Steelers games, but I'm glad that I watched them and I understood what their weaknesses were. I understood what the Ravens' weaknesses were, what their strengths were, and the Browns and all of that. But I say that to say this, like you said, this is the AFC North. You can't come into the AFC North and not run the football. Like that's not what you do. When you go to the Ravens and they got Lamar and they got Gus Edwards and they got Dobbins and they just punching you in the face with the ball, that's the reason that they win. Because they like to run the ball, they like to control the clock. And then you talk about the Browns too. The Browns are even nastier when it comes to, well, I ain't gonna say nastier than the Ravens because they're the nastiest because they have the triple threat. But then you also had the Browns, and the Browns at the beginning of the season, they were like the number one rushing team in the league. You got Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt, and
they scheme good run plays up.
Exactly. And when you watch their line, it's like those linemen that they have on the Browns are nasty. They just get off of the ball, they go to the next level, they hit these other dudes. So, and I'm like, bro, that's AFC North football. And I feel like we did play that tonight. I feel like Zach did make a concerted effort to run the ball. And I think he learned that because I think at first when he had Burrow, he was really getting away from it. But I think he was like, man, I got to run the ball if I want to win ball games. And I'm like, you have to run the ball because if you throw these little quick passes and, you know, the time stops on the clock, you're giving teams more opportunity to get back into these games, especially if you're having 3 and outs and stuff like that. So I definitely think it was great that he definitely chose to stick with Gio. I think you also made a great point there. You said you have to bring Gio in because it keeps teams guessing. And I think teams thought that this is a guy that doesn't like to run the ball, and he was catching them off guard when he was doing these draw plays with Gio and having up stuff. And so I think that was great that he definitely learned in this game, hey, I got to run the ball. Like he tried to do it last game. I had to give him his credit on that too, because he tried to do it last game with Travion, and we saw all 3 of the running backs play, which I liked as well. But he tried to do it, but they fumbled so many times last weekend. But I think it definitely, like you said, you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to beat your divisional opponents. You got to know their strengths and their weaknesses. And like you said too, the Steelers, they've just are as bad or maybe even worse than us at running the ball, and it shows. Like if
it
you
definitely shows.
That, you can't do that. You can't win. You can't win. And I understand why people want to move away to these pass-heavy offenses and stuff like that because it's more exciting. But at the end of the day, I think Willie Anderson said it recently. Run the damn ball. Like, why are you on 3rd and 1, 4th and short? You doing these crazy play? Like, run the ball, bro.
Hey,
like,
man, if you think about it, without the studs on defense that Pittsburgh have, we essentially the same team as them.
Right.
Real pass heavy, quick passes, short passes, and things like that. But man, I definitely thank you for having me on here, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. After a game like this, Lawson getting paid. He got to get
paid, bro.
He got to get paid.
I had to, like, me and him had a private talk before that. I'm like, bro, you gotta show him.
Yeah,
bro, you gotta show him
on a stage like this. He made it
crazy
for himself.
He went crazy. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Anything you want to say before you get out?
Oh man, hey, big win for today. Who they, man?
Who they? Appreciate that. Hey man, I really enjoyed doing this tonight. I'm gonna have to keep these going. We got to keep the positive energy going. I liked having the fans on to talk. You know, this is the diehards, bro. This is what we do. I want the rest of the world to be able to see our faces, because when I jump on these things and stuff like that, they act like we don't have diehard fans. But I'm like, nah, we have diehard fans. We have a lot of diehard fans, and we have a lot of knowledgeable fans, a lot of people that are into football. So I appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We're gonna keep these segments going. This was a spur of the moment thing. I'm so glad that we did it. I had a huge emotional roller coaster today, and definitely ended it on a good note. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe. We're going to do this again. So if you are on the Discord, or if you're not familiar with the Discord, I believe had that on my Twitter somewhere. I'm going to make sure that I pin that or put it in the description here. It's not in here live right now, but I'll put it in there later. Please be sure to join that, because we will keep doing these things, and I will share those links with you guys so you can join and jump on the show, and we can just go through it. But as usual, we're going to have to leave you guys with a who day all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.
He gave his rookie-laden Bengals a high mark as they passed from the kindergarten of preseason to the first grade of regular league play.
Cincinnati's best came in the first quarter, the first time they had the ball. Quarterback Dewey Warren and fullback Tom Smiley combined for Cincinnati's first pass completion.
Bengal founder Paul Brown fashioned this novel design, as new to the game today as the forward pass was a century ago.
Montana dragged down at the 31-yard line.
In 1996, the Bengals finished strong and finished right.
Touchdown! Yes! You tell you what, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. We got to bow to Corey Dillon.
Bulldog from the 32 with Mixon in the backfield. It's Dalton out to Mixon. He's got some room.
It's Mixon diving up and over.
We're gonna hammer home competition, preparation, and diligence in everything we do.
It's a new year, same old question. How do you stop 85?
They're looking down the field to the home run ball. It's full. And it is a touchdown.